Welcome, everybody. You're watching the Day Trading Options Daily Review for November 17th, 2016. I'm Scott. He's Alan. We're here to show you that it's possible to make 10% on stock options in under 10 minutes on a fairly consistent basis. Now, some days are wonderful days that runs like crazy. It's strong. There's lots of volume. And some days are crappy. I mean, it's kind of like you go to the beach and it's cloudy and it's rainy and there's a cold front that comes in and you're going, dude, I came to the beach to sit in the sun and it's just not happening. And maybe you got to wait for a couple days or a week before the sun comes out. Well, stock market can be like that. Although you're at the beach and you can still have your beer and you can still go out in the water if you want. So there's opportunity. It's just maybe not as much fun, and maybe you don't spend as much time in the water as you did on the hot sunny days. So the problem, of course, is, you know, the weatherman's not really very good at predicting. But Alan, we've got our own little weatherman, and he's actually pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very good, actually, and that's why it's there. I don't like doing a lot of heavy-duty thinking when I'm trading, and the computer can do all that analysis, which is why we have all that. So right here, there's two markers that say, the first one says the conditions are not good. When you hover over it, it actually tells you all that stuff. It says the conditions are not good for trading right now. So if you get into a trade, if you find something you like, don't expect it to run strong and long. It's going to be probably short.
Get in, get out. And that happens to be a cloud with a lightning bolt. So
yeah,
don't get zapped. Don't get zapped. So it's like get in, get out, get in, get out.
And the other one is, this is telling us, this is a newer one. It's not in the training videos, but we're going to make an extra course for that, or an extra lecture on some of these new things. This is telling me that the market is not cohesive. It's running in different directions.
Okay.
Let me just give you an example here. So here's the basket. So if you treat that like a stock, you've got some that are going up and some that are going down, but basically the market is unclear and not moving strong in any one direction.
Undecided.
Undecided. So what happens is if you have a stock that you like Tesla and a bunch of other stocks, and lately NVIDIA, they make video cards and gaming equipment, been doing really well. But the other ones might not be doing so well. From time to time, you'll get some stocks that people love, like IBB, which has to do with the not pharmaceuticals, but the name escapes me right now, but the idea of medical stuff and health stuff. And sometimes that stuff is really going strong, and other times it's quiet. So when it's quiet, you just say, well, so what? What's moving?
Right. And you can even see on this chart that we're looking at, it started, it went down, and now it's going up. So is it going to continue to go up, or is it going to go back down? We don't have a crystal ball that works, so we don't know. So,
right.
But we're thinking that right now we've got the K-band, which is green. We've got the green paint at the background. We're getting close to a 52-week high. We're getting close to a previous high. We're in what I call the dead man zone. In other words, don't trade when you're in this zone. But if it broke out and it broke above the previous high and the 52-week high, it might go a little bit higher, to like particularly to RA, which is at 94.01.
Yeah, so, way up there. So you got some room, because you're basically at $92. So you got $2 before you hit some kind of a barrier. So if it breaches this number here, which it was earlier at, that's a good trade. Now we're just going forward a minute at a time. So we're going to go forward 1 minute, but somewhere here, if it breaks, we'd get in. So here's 1 minute, and it broke. We'd buy it somewhere in here on the way up, because this is all looking good. So I'm just going to go hit the buy button here. Let me just grab that. So I'm going to buy a call and go forward 1 minute. So we're up a bit.
Okay, it's going in the right direction.
Going in the right direction. You can see right here, this meter isn't red or green. And we don't care, because we know that the market's basically dead. So if you've got a runner, just grab your 10% and get going. So the thing we're
looking at 3-minute candles right now.
Yes. So here's another minute. So now we're up to 8%. Now, you know, this is 8%. So that's probably like 16% before we get this bounce point. So we're going to go one more minute. So you're at 10%. And this is where a bit of skill goes, well, can I hang on to that thing? And
could hang on for a little bit more.
A little bit more, but I wouldn't go much longer because we know today is not a great day. This thing could be running, but it's not going to run strong for the whole day. So you're 12%. So somewhere up here, I guessed around 16% roughly.
Well,
So yeah, you're getting your hesitation. This is where some people would just say, get out. And that would be a smart thing because you're going to get paid.
Right.
But with some experience, you go, well, you know, it's 10 o'clock. It's after 10 rather. And so I'm not going to hit a time bounce where at 10, it sometimes turns around, but 10:15, it might turn around. So I can go another minute. I'm making money. It's not going to jump hard against me. So there you're at 16%. See, for me, that'd be like, yep.
I'm thinking get out.
Give me the money, yeah, because it's like, that's real money. It's on the table. You want to get paid. So we did that.
Okay. Now we're curious.
Now you're curious.
Are we going to hit RA or not?
Yeah.
Ooh, close.
Ooh, really close. Will it break? Yeah, barely. But look at the resistance it's got. These pullbacks, these long wicks on the candle. Yeah. That's not good. And then all of a sudden, you're heading the wrong direction. And look at that. Okay. Strong red for the market. So this thing's going to head down too.
So let's follow this stock a little bit further than we normally would, because we really want to emphasize the power of this RA, okay? Because you can see it's dropped down. Now it looks like it's coming back up. Ooh, it's coming back up. Is it going to hit RA again?
This is an old trade. We wouldn't start getting in here. There's reasons for that. This is tested. So yeah, you could have hung in a long time just to make a few percent more.
Yeah, we're not suggesting that you did. We just want to show you that it just keeps hitting this thing. It's like a ceiling, and it's trying to get through, but
not happening. It's a tough one. So there she finally, but you know, that's because it broke it. Yeah. This candle straddled it. That, by the way, has worked for 15 years. If you get one of these that straddles one of these things, and you get some other stuff going with you, like the market screen, yeah, you could squeeze out a little bit more.
Yeah.
But look at that.
I mean, back down to it.
Yeah, this would hurt if you got in here. It's like, I don't care about those things. That's old move.
Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, so that's 16% in, what, how many minutes was that?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right, on. Okay, so let's take a look at a second trade that you could have made some money on today.
Mediocre day.
On this mediocre day. Remember, this is a bad day. Not much is happening. And we're looking at Tesla, and you can see it's in that no man's zone. It's kind of going up, going down. Nothing's happening.
Oh, now. Ooh, starting to wake up. Oh,
we got the previous high. We're through it.
That's the same kind of setup as we had before. That's the point of having all these days in replays. You go, I think I know what I want to do here.
Yeah. Now the RA here is a lot closer, and then there's an RB above it.
Right. So here's what I do is like, if I think this thing's going to go up, you know, the risk is it's going to hit this and bounce down, but I won't lose as much money as if I just got it right underneath RA. And if you get it right above, that works too, if it's going well. But by the time it gets above, it'll be an older trade.
Right.
So this is reasonable. If it doesn't work, it's a small loss. Small losses and better gains. If you're only right half the time, you're money up because you throw a little, but you pick up more. That's a good deal. And that's the kind of things people do generally for trading, is either you're right more often, or you make more money when you're right than when you lose. So here we give it a chance. Let's just go do that. So we bought it. It comes immediately at -1%. That accounts for the fact that you have a spread and commission and so forth. So this approximates reality. So we're going to go forward 1 minute. You haven't gained anything. It's still stuck there. And we're using 5-minute candles. It's still, and then all of a sudden now she takes off and it just smashes through this resistance point. The market's kind of with us. It's a little bit on the greener side. We're at 7%. Basically, we want to get up just before it hits RB. That's what I want to do, because by then, there's your 10% on a mediocre day. Do you want to hang in, or you want to call it quits?
Let's go one more.
Right. So this is the previous high right there. So we're well above it, which is a good thing. Now look at that. We're at RB. I know what I'm doing. I don't.
Yeah, out. We touched that baby, and it came back. We made our money, and of course, we're curious, right? Is it going to smash through it? Well, ooh, it did.
Sort of.
Sort of. Now what's happening?
Pulled back.
Oh. There you go.
Right around here, you're happy you got your paid, because at this point the bid is a little lower.
Yes.
So there's some micro things that we don't bother confusing people with in replay. Replay it's all part of a graduated learning process. And so you play a lot with the replay, you get really good at it, you treat it like real, you want to respect that because this is a career. And then, there's a few more things you have to learn before you get into live and you get good at live. So, it takes a few months. It's not like you just roll out and all of a sudden you're, a zillionaire.
That's right. You got to know the rules. You got to know the software. And the key is if you break through one area of resistance and you can get to the next one, and it's a bad day, then like a poor day, then you know that probably you should get out once you get close to the second level of resistance, right? Now you could have run that up a little bit more, but if you did, you probably would have waited a little bit longer than you should have and had the red. So this is great because if this was a day where everything was moving strong, we might have a different opinion. But this is a day where nothing is moving very well, and you got a nice little move. Take advantage of it. Don't be greedy, and take your money and run, right?
Yeah, and that this was worth 18% return on your money.
Mm-hmm.
And
can't beat that.
Yeah, that's the whole point. We just here grabbing these little pieces. Now there are strategies we teach. And there's some tools built into the thing where you can get the bigger, longer runs. And, but that's not where you start. It's like you start with the walk and then you do the marathon.
And today might not have had a longer run.
That's right. So you just don't wait.
It's if it's a big sunny day and everything has got a lot of volume and there's a lot of power, then you look for those things. But on a day like today, it's kind of like the beach thing, you dip your toe in, you get in for a little bit and then you get out and go do something else because it's not a good day for swimming.
Yeah, it's not likely to happen. So by the way, I just put up, this is the marker that we added recently, that these lines that tells you that this could be good for a longer run. And so there is a training video, and I've had one fellow that was been on our show once before, and he makes some really good money, and he loves that new thing. And so there's a video that explains how to use that thing and for the longer runs, and bigger money is happening there.
Awesome. So this is the day trading options daily review for November 17th, 2016. Let's take a look at the summary, Alan. We had 2 trades. And in 10 minutes, we made 15.5%, and then in 6 minutes, 18.1%. So 2 good trades on a very poor day. We looked at the whole day, and the whole day was
junky.
Awesome. So if you want to know how to use the software, if you want to know what the rules are, if you want to know how you can use options to supplement your income or make a full-time income, go into the description below on YouTube. We've got our courses listed there. When you take the course, you get 30 days of using the replay so that you can practice, and then you can graduate to the live program where we recommend you do a fair bit of paper trading before you actually go and use your own money. And it's amazing how many people skip that, jump to using their own money, lose all their money, and then go back to practicing. And then paper trading once they get another stash together. Like, don't do that, okay? Practice, practice, practice. People go to university for 4 years to learn how to do something that has absolutely no benefit to them in their work life. And, we recommend you take the time to really understand the software well, that you become active in the Facebook group, share your trades there, see other people, what they're trading. Look at the problems that they're having, and instead of you having the same problem, learn from their issues, if I could put it that way, so that you don't have to do that.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of really great insights that get posted there.
That's right. And it's a very active group. We're really proud of everybody and how they've come along. We love seeing the growth in them. But I'll tell you right now, the software is not the problem. The rules are not the problem. The problem is the person behind the screen deciding. It's like a horse race. Like I bet on number 7, he's last, but baby, he's going to make it. I'm going to put more money on him. Come on, come on. And of course he doesn't.
That's like a hope, not a reality.
That's right.
Right?
And so you can gamble and you can hope, right?
Yeah,
or you can follow a system that's proven to be successful.
Mm.
And that's what we want you to do. And it takes time to master anything. And there was a great, I'm not sure I don't know if you posted it or not. I'm going to post it in the Facebook group. There was a great meme I saw today with Bruce Lee's picture on the bottom. I don't know if it was him or not, but it was, are you the best at what you do? Yes, no. No, practice. Yes, find somebody who's better than you and practice. And it just kept on, like basically at the end of the whole thing was practice, 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 practice.
Yes.
And that's the key. And I always remember he said, I'm not afraid of somebody who's practiced 1,000 different kung fu moves. I'm afraid of somebody who's practiced one.
Yeah, 1,000 times. And it's like, oh, that's the deadly guy.
That's the deadly guy. He's good, right? And that's what we want you to do. We want you to be good. And that's what, and we're practicing one thing here, which is just using options, having a 10-minute window, making our 10%. And you know what? If you make 5%, don't kick yourself. If it takes 12 minutes, don't kick yourself, right? The success is it was more than 0%, and you did it. And if it took an hour to make it, great, fine, right? You'll get down to where you can see things where you can make 10% in 10 minutes and take advantage of it. And you'll start seeing the patterns, but you need to practice, and you need to have patience, and you need to know that it's very difficult to do it on your own, which is why we have Murray who coaches. And that's why we have the replay, so you can practice. You don't have to, I can remember thinking about doing this 10 years ago before Alan was showing me all this stuff, and I guess it was 13, 14 years ago, and the only time you could kind of practice was when the market was open, because this idea of a replay, non-existent. So you can practice 24/7 using the software in a real stimulated environment and see how you're doing, because there's the record, right? Nvidia and Tesla, that's what we did. And sometimes you'll see ones that are -2 and -5 and +30 and +4, and you just keep going, and then over time it becomes more and more of the +10s and less of the -2s, and until you're at like 90-10, and when you start trading and you're at that level of success, you're going to have no problems at all. But you have to get there, and that's the journey. So thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Alan, if you've got anything you want to say before we sign off, I'll be quiet for a second.
No, you said it. Thank you.
All right. Go down into the descriptions, take the courses, watch the courses, review the courses again, practice with the software, and we'll see you on the beaches of the world, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Love you lots. Bye-bye.